Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here. And in today's video, going to be talking through a couple of my favorite plays on Prizepicks for today's slate for Friday, April the 22nd. We got 3 games on Friday night, and I have 3 plays I'm going to share in this video. I will say that the board right now, there's not a ton that's up. We're still waiting for a lot to be added. A lot more projections need to be added. I'm sure there's going to be fantasy point projections as well. Those will get added sometime on Friday. I do give out additional plays on Patreon, so if you guys enjoy these videos, if they help you, I know the picks have not been doing that well lately. I'll take full responsibility of that. We've been in a brutal run. We had another brutal day Thursday, and we'll recap Thursday's picks in a second. But if you guys do want to get more Prizepicks plays from me, I do provide those over on Patreon. You can check that out. Link down below in the description if that's something that does interest you. But yeah, man, it's been a brutal run lately. The free picks have not been doing that well. We went 0-3 on the 3 plays we gave out Thursday. Thursday's plays, 2 of them I felt pretty good about with Draymond's fantasy points. He played big minutes like I expected. He played 36 minutes. Denver was able to keep the game close like I expected. But Draymond just wasn't, that productive. He had 32 fantasy points. We needed over 33 fantasy points from him. He had a really good first half too. I think he had over 20 fantasy points at halftime or maybe close to it and finished with only 32. So that was just super unfortunate that Draymond didn't go over. Will Barton, he was close as well. We needed 25 points, rebounds, assists from Will Barton, and he finished with 22. He didn't have that productive of a game. He didn't take a ton of shots. He did get a good amount of rebounds and assists, but just the shot attempts weren't there, which was kind of unfortunate. The minutes were there though. It was a close game. And then the Rudy Gobert one, that was one that I might have just completely whiffed on. Gobert's minutes were not super high. He had played big minutes in the first 2 games of the series, but his minutes got cut down a lot Thursday. I know they did play some small ball a little bit in that game. They had Gobert. They actually took Gobert off the floor late in that game, which again for our prop, that was just brutal to watch. Brutal day Thursday, man. It's been a bad run. I'll say, basically since the start of this week, since Monday, just been going 2-2, 1-2. We can't get a clean sweep. But I'm hoping today, on Friday, maybe we can get a clean sweep here, go 3-0 on these 3 plays. As always, I want to give as much information possible, break down these plays as deeply as I can, because in the end, I want to feel like I'm making the right decisions. Even if my plays don't hit, I want to look back and see the reasoning behind each play. If that comes to fruition, then that's really all that I care about. If I say in a video I like this guy's over in points or something because he's playing huge minutes, he's taking a ton of shots, and if that happens, if the player plays huge minutes and takes a ton of shots and just so happens to shoot 25% from the field, well, that's things I can't control. I can't control how these guys perform, but I can do my best with the information that's given to me with my research, that being able to kind of determine what a player's usage is going to be, what kind of minutes they're going to play. That's what I'm trying to do, my best to make these decisions. Can't control how these guys play, but feel like in the end, my process is right. Just got to continue to trust the process. I've been, betting, doing gambling, playing DFS for almost 6 years now. So I've been able to handle down swings. I've been through plenty of down swings in my DFS career. It's just another tough run that we're on, but I know we're going to turn this around at some point. We'll talk through the 3 plays I like for today, guys. As always, before we do get started, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button as well. If you are new here, I do upload these Prizepicks videos daily. Throughout the playoffs, I've been trying to upload every single day. You guys have shown a ton of support. The views have been great on the Prizepicks videos. I appreciate all the likes as well. So thank you guys all for supporting the channel, watching these Prizepicks videos every day. And if you actually are new to Prizepicks, you want to check them out, you can sign up with my promo code Noah. They will match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. But let's talk through the 3 plays that I like for today. We have 2 PRA props that I like, and then we have an assist prop that I like. So for PRA, I'm going to start off with Chris Paul. Projection obviously looks a little bit higher than normal, but this is something that's kind of worth noting, or it obviously makes sense that his projection's higher than normal because Devin Booker will be out today for the Suns, and I'm liking the over 36.5 points, rebounds, assists for Chris Paul. Now, I was looking at a lot of Chris Paul's props for today. Once we got the word, that Devin Booker was not going to play, I was going to be very interested to see what his props were going to be. Ultimately, the 20.5 points and the 36.5 PRA, these were the 2 that I was kind of eyeing. I think Chris Paul is just going to have to take on a really big role here. This is the playoffs, so Chris Paul is going to play huge minutes. I think he played 36 minutes last game, and I would expect today he plays probably 38 to 40 minutes. And you can actually take a look at the Suns this season, their usage without Devin Booker on the floor. As you would expect, Chris Paul gets the biggest bump in usage whenever Booker's out. His usage goes up over 3%, has a has a very solid 23% usage rate this season without Devin Booker. The per 36 stats, I mean, they're a little bit less than his projection for today. He's averaging about 18 points, about 11 assists, and 4.5 rebounds per 36. So he's averaging right around like 34 points, rebounds, assists per 36 in the minutes that he's played without Devin Booker during the regular season. But now that you factor in it's the playoffs and stars are leaned on more heavily, I expect Chris Paul to handle a heavy workload today, to play huge minutes. I think he's going to have to be more aggressive offensively, so we could see his scoring go up today. I was going to take his points over 20.5, but I feel like PRA is just the safest because Chris Paul can have those games where he just gets a ton of assists. He's a pretty good rebounding guard as well. Like, he's usually good to get 3, 4, 5 rebounds. Like, I could see CP3 finishing with like 18 points, 14 assists, and 5 rebounds and going over PRA that way while coming up short of his points. I just think he's going to have a massive workload. He's going to play huge minutes. The ball's going to be in his hands a ton. I like a lot of Chris Paul's props today. I think over 20.5 points looks solid. But for the sake of this video, I'm taking over 36.5 PRA. I just think he's going to have a massive role. Minutes are going to be really high. Obviously, with this series being tied 1-1, I mean, the Suns need to win this game. I mean, playing in New Orleans, you don't want to lose this game and then have to play another game in New Orleans, potentially go down 1-3 or 3-1. This is a big game for the Suns. They're going to need to win this game to potentially pull out the series. I mean, they could definitely. I don't want to say the Suns are going to get swept or not swept, but a first round exit. But without Devin Booker, the task is definitely going to be a little bit harder for them. So I think Chris Paul is definitely going to have to step up. I expect him to play well. I expect him to play huge minutes. And I think 36.5 points, rebounds, assists, going over that is something that he can definitely do, in a playoff game where he's just going to be leaned on way more heavily. So that's one prop I like for today. Another prop I like for today is, these Bulls guys. Like, I was on these Bulls guys last game they played. I was on DeRozan's fantasy points. He went way over. I was on Vooch's fantasy points. He went way over. I was also on Levine's fantasy points, and he came up short. But I'm liking the PRA for Vooch. Over 33.5 points, rebounds, assists for Nikola Vucevic. Another prop that really stood out to me. He's gone over this in both games so far in this series. In Game 1 against Milwaukee, he had 44 points, rebound, assists. And last game, he had 39 points, rebound, assists. And worth noting that the Bulls, they are running a super tight rotation, and they're playing their main guys, Vooch, Levine, DeRozan. They're playing those three guys huge minutes. I think so far in this series, Vooch has played 39 minutes in Game 1, 36 minutes last game. He wasn't foul trouble last game. He did have 5 fouls in those 36 minutes, so he actually might have lost out on a few minutes because of that, because of the foul trouble. But he had 24 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists last game. The game before that, in Game 1, he had 24 points, 17 rebounds, and 3 assists. His rebounding numbers have been way up. The shot attempts have been great. He's been taking a ton of shots, 27 and 18 field goal attempts so far in the series, and he's been chucking from 3. If you watch these games, like the Bucks have just been letting Vooch take a ton of threes. Every time Vooch is open from 3, they just they don't even try and contest it. He took 10 threes in Game 1. He took 8 threes in Game 2, so he's taken 18 3-point attempts so far in this series. And the Bucks actually do allow a lot of wide open threes. They allow a lot of 3-point attempts. I pulled up that stat before. If you look on NBA stats and you look at 3-point attempts allowed, the Bucks are towards the top of the league. They give up a lot of 3-pointers. So I think Vooch is going to be chucking. Obviously, we know he's a great rebounder. He's gotten double-digit rebounds in both games so far in the series. He's usually good to get at least a couple of assists. I think last game, or maybe it was Game 2, or not Game 2, but Game 1, he actually had like 12 potential assists in Game 1 of this series, which was crazy. And he only finished with 3 assists, which was just super unlucky. So Vooch has been doing a little bit of everything lately. The scoring's been up. The rebounds have been great. He can get you a couple of assists. He's going to play huge minutes. The game's in Chicago, so I think it does stay close here. The Bucks are going to be without Chris Middleton today. We should see a close game. We should see Vooch play massive minutes once again. And with how productive he's been lately, with how he's just been taking a ton of shots, getting rebounds, getting assists, I like his chances of going over 33.5 PRA. I was actually looking at DraftKings Sportsbook before I started recording, and I think the juice is just really heavy on the over here. I think the juice was like minus 170 on the over for Vooch's 33.5 PRA. And Chris Paul, his PRA prop on DraftKings Sportsbook was actually set at 37.5, worth noting. On Prizepicks is only 36.5, so I like both these props quite a bit. Both these PRA lines feel maybe 1 or 2 points too low. I think both these guys are just going to have massive roles, Vooch and CP3. And I like both their chances of going over their PRA props today. And then the third and final pick, I like another Bull. I'm taking an assist prop. I'm going to take over 4.5 assists for DeMar DeRozan. So DeMar DeRozan, he's gone over this assist line, and 3 out of his last 5 games. Last game, he obviously came up just one short in game 2, but he was super aggressive offensively in game 2. He got off to a pretty hot start, or at least I think in the second half, he was crushing in the second half. I think he had a huge fourth quarter. He finished with I want to say over 30 points, maybe 40 points last game. He took a ton of shots. He finished with 41 points, shot the ball 31 times. DeRozan, obviously he's an aggressive offensive player, but he's also a pretty good passer. He's a good facilitator, and he actually has the highest assist percentage on the team this season for the Bulls. When you take Lonzo Ball off the floor, DeMar DeRozan actually leads the team with a 23.8% assist percentage during the regular season. And you can take a look at his potential assists. His potential assists have been pretty good. So far in the series, in those 2 games, he's averaged 12 potential assists per game. So I think in game 1 or last game when he had 4 assists, he still had 10 potentials. So kind of got unlucky to only get 4 assists last game on 10 potentials. He should have probably got at least 5 assists last game. Usually guys, convert about half their potentials into half of that usually they convert into actual assists. So a little bit unlucky that DeRozan only got 4 assists last game on 10 potentials. But the game before that, I think he had 14 potential assists. So the potential assists have been pretty high. This assist line at 4.5 does feel a little bit too low. I think he's actually hit this in 6 out of his last 10 games. Over his last 5, he's gone over in 3 out of his last 5, had 6 assists, 5, and then had 6 in game 1 of the series. But then, he had 6 assists, late in the regular season against the Clippers. He had 7 against the Knicks. He's been a pretty good facilitator this season. He's averaging about 5 assists per game on the season. The minutes have been massive for DeRozan. He's played over 43 minutes in both games in the series. He played 43 minutes in game 1. He played 44 minutes in game 2. So I think we're going to get 40-plus minutes from DeRozan. He's going to get the opportunity to get assists. It just comes down to his teammates making shots. And given that he's gotten, 14 and 10 potentials so far through 2 games in this series, I'll bank on him getting, 11, 12 potential assists today. And just if he gets 12 potential assists and he doesn't get 5 assists, that would just be super unfortunate. But normally guys can convert about, half their potentials into actual assists. So feel pretty good about DeRozan getting 5 assists here. With the assist rate he has this season, when you take a look at the assist rate with Lonzo off the floor, leads the team in assist percentage. Given the potentials that he's had over the last 2 games, I like this chance of getting over 4.5 assists or getting us 5 assists. And this was another line I looked at on DraftKings Sportsbook. It's set at 4.5 on DK Sportsbook, but I think it's pretty heavily juiced on the over. I think it was minus 140 or minus 145 on the over on DK Sportsbook. Took a look at that right before I started recording. So these are 3 props I do like for today. Again, the board is kind of thin right now at the time I'm making this video Thursday night, but these were 3 props that did stand out to me that I do like quite a bit. Did already put a 3-pick entry in with these 3 plays. I will add these 3 plays to some of my Patreon plays, so I do give out additional plays on Patreon. What I do each day is I make usually about 4, 5, 6 entries combining all of my Patreon plays and my free plays that I post on YouTube. So, these 3 picks that I just gave out, I'll take those 3 and usually the 4 or 5 picks I give out over on Patreon, I'll basically group them all together and just run a bunch of different entries with all of my plays. The last few days have not been great, I'll be honest. The Patreon plays, they've been just mediocre. The YouTube plays, really been struggling with the free plays lately, but I know we're going to turn around at some point. I do feel pretty good about these 3 picks for Friday night's game. So hopefully we can get a clean sweep tonight, guys. Go 3-0. Again, I just gotta continue to trust the process. Just know that I'm putting in the research. I'm putting in the time to figure out what plays stand out the most. I can't when it comes down to these guys performing, that's something that I can't control. But if I'm right predicting guys' usage, predicting minutes, if DeRozan gets 14 potential assists Friday night and just so happens to only get 4 assists, well, that's something that I can't control. But if the opportunity's there and I predict that, then that's what really matters to me. But yeah, these are 3 picks I like for Friday, guys. If you're tailing, I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully we can get a clean sweep tonight, win some money on the slate. But again, appreciate you guys watching this video. Hit that like button before you get out of here. Hit that subscribe button as well. Again, go check out Prizepicks. If you have not signed up for Prizepicks, make sure to sign up with my promo code NOAH. They will match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. But that's all that I got for today, guys. Wish you the best of luck on this Friday night slate. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back tomorrow talking through Saturday slate. I think we have 4 games on Saturday, so we'll have a little bit more to talk about. Should be more options on the board for Saturday's games. But we'll see you guys then. Best of luck tonight. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.